Why don't airplanes fly faster? Well, the short answer is money, but understanding that answer is going to take a little bit more explaining. First off, let's take a look at the forces acting on an airplane in flight. So first of all, you've got the weight of the airplane pulling it down. For the upwards force, you have the lift, which is generated by the air moving underneath the wings. Now, as a plane is moving forward, it obviously needs a force of the engine to push it forwards, and there's actually a counteracting force to that as well, which is the drag force, which is all of the air that's rushing up against the airplane trying to push it back. Now, you felt the drag force even without being in an airplane. Imagine running down the road and feeling the air going past you. Now compare that to driving in a car and putting your hand out the window. Now, when you do this in a car, it feels like the wind is a lot stronger, and that's because you're moving a lot faster. Now think about how that would change if you were going from, say, 50 miles an hour in a car to 500 miles an hour in an airplane. It's obviously going to be quite a bit more. And that is part of the reason why airplanes fly so high up. By doing this, there's less air higher up, which means less drag. Additionally, if you've driven that same car before, you'd know that after a certain point, the faster you go, the faster you're going to start burning fuel. And airplanes are exactly the same. So as you start getting faster and faster and faster in these airplanes, you're going to start burning more and more fuel, which means less money for the airlines. Now you might be thinking then, well, he said that there's less drag when you go higher up, so why don't airplanes just keep going higher and higher up? Wouldn't that solve everything? No, unfortunately. So as you get higher and higher up, there is less air, which means less drag. However, as I said earlier, the airplane wings need wind to be moving underneath them to supply lift. And if there's not enough air, the plane can't get enough lift and it won't be able to fly. Modern airplanes are already flying at about the limit that they're designed for, so going much higher than that would not be ideal. So it sounds like regular old commercial airplanes top out around 500 miles an hour. But back in the day, there actually was one supersonic commercial airplane company, and this was the Concorde. It ran from the mid-1970s up until the very early 2000s. This plane flew at 1,330 miles an hour, about double the speed of sound, and cruised at around 56,000 feet, which is about 25,000 feet more than a regular commercial airplane. For perspective, it could do a trip from the London airport to the New York airport in about 3 hours and 15 minutes, which is insanely fast. However, the plane was really only used for transatlantic flights because as it was going faster than the speed of sound, it was making sonic booms, and that would be rather loud if it was going over land. Because this plane was moving so fast, it had some other interesting problems to deal with, and those are heat and expansion. So as a plane is moving this quickly, the amount of air rushing past it creates a lot of friction, to the point where the outside of the plane actually starts to heat up quite a bit. And on the Concorde, the hottest parts of the plane were over 250 degrees Fahrenheit, just from flying at that speed. And some passengers could actually notice this heat by putting their hand on the windows and saying that it felt noticeably warm to the touch. Additionally, metal tends to expand as it gets hotter, and since planes are mostly made out of metal, that meant the Concorde expanded as well. And during the course of its flight, when it was at its hottest, it could be more than a foot longer than it was at the ground. Engineers actually had to account for this so that cables wouldn't get stretched too far and the plane wouldn't tear itself apart as it was flying. Additionally, the Concorde was by no means cheap. It only could hold about 100 passengers, and each one of those tickets would cost about $15,000 in today's money. You might be thinking, well, if the Concorde could do it, technology's obviously gotten better, so 20 years later, why aren't we flying faster? Well, let me break it down for you for 3 simple reasons. Firstly, it would be much more expensive. As we're flying a lot faster, we're going to be burning a lot more fuel, which is not good for the environment and not good for the airline companies. In addition, all of the modern planes we have would have to be redesigned to be able to travel at such fast speeds, as you heard with all of the issues that the Concorde faced. Secondly, it would be extremely loud. As all of these planes are flying past greater than the speed of sound, they're going to be making sonic booms. And if we take a look here at all of the flights going across the US at any given time, each one of those flights, say, is flying at 50,000 feet, which is about what the Concorde flew at. That means the sonic boom will be audible for a 50-mile radius around that plane. And if we put that on all of the planes here, you can see that basically everywhere is covered. So it would be rather loud, just sonic booms everywhere all the time. Finally, it would be a lot less efficient. As I said, these planes just cannot hold as many people, and it's going to cost us way more to fly in them, just because of all the extra fuel costs and the cost of redesigning all the planes. So flying will become even harder to access than it already is for most people. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible for us to start traveling in supersonic speeds in the future, but a lot of work is definitely going to have to be done to allow that to happen. Well, that's about all I've got on this topic, but if you have any other burning unanswered questions you'd like to see answered, just drop them down in the comments and maybe I'll get to them. But at the very least, now you know why airplanes don't fly faster.